is Emerson Rendon. I'm going to be going over my SD assignment number 2, the visual focus skills. So we're going to be going over the focus principles. First, we have the F, which is for Formulate, which uses message, audience, and sketches. Then we have the O, which is for Organize, which is shape, proximity, and alignment. Then we have the C for contrast, which is asymmetry, value, and color. Then we have the U for unify, which is repetition, rhythm, and gestalt. Then we have the S for simplify, which is evaluation, elimination, and communication. So I'm going to be looking at examples of all of these 5, and I'm going to be telling you a good example and a bad example. So first we're going to be starting off with F, Formulate, and I'm going to be using message. So with this picture, we have the DenTek Advanced Clean Flossers. I think that the central message is very clear. It has the picture of the 2 teeth and the flosser, and it has advanced clean. It has the supporting message, which is removes plaque and bacteria, which reinforces all the benefits. And there's minimal distractions. The product promise is the focus. So there is all white space on the outside. The message is very clear. So now we have a bad example of message, which I used a Cambell's soup. So the brand name dominates, it's, very at the top, but the product message is very small. So the graphics of the chicken, stars, planet distract from the clarity, and what the product isn't convincing without reading the fine print. So as you can see, it says chicken and stars, which that's the shape of the pasta, but you have to know shaped pasta with chicken in chicken smooth soup. Chicken broth soup. Then we have the O for organize. I did alignment. So here's a good example of alignment. Elements like the flavors, logo, portion info, follow clear alignment. They use diagonal placement for balance, and it's easy for the eye to follow the flow. We have the bad example of alignment. So there's too many competing elements, cat image, multiple kibble close-ups, flavor text, and nutrition claims. So it has all of those things in the on the bag. Then we have no clear alignment or hierarchy. It feels very cluttered and confusing. There's just things absolutely everywhere in this bag. Then we have a good example of a color. So it's very bright, bold contrast. It uses the RBG, the red, blue, and green. It has playful asymmetry, which draws attention. It's high visibility and clear hierarchy. Here is a bad example of color. So it's very muted, similar colors that blend together, but there's also a ton of different colors. So there is the light blue, there's red, there's green, there's the salmon color, there is the color of the dog, there's just a million different things. There's no clear standout element, and it's weak contrast, so it makes it harder to focus. We have the Gestalt, which is the Frosted Flakes. So I think this is a good example. Tony the tiger is the dominant figure. Tony's face and the cereal bowl are all centered. There's nothing else that takes away from the main focus of the picture. And there's a lot of white space open behind him to show he's the main. Here is a bad example of Gestalt. So the pumpkin face, text, and background elements blend together instead of standing out very clearly. There's too many focal points that compete for attention. The shapes overlap with a lot of extra graphics. Then we have the last for S, simplify, which is elimination. I used a HEB flour tortilla picture. So we have no clutter. Everything on the package is needed and important info, and the package is clear. There's not any crazy clashing logos or colors. Lastly, the bad example of elimination is a ice cream pumpkin creamy creations, also HEB brand. So there's extra leaves, pumpkins, cookies, and texture. it crowds the design and makes the label feel busy. So instead of clearly showing the ice cream product, the design tried to tie together pie, ice cream, cookies, and a bunch of seasonal decor, which makes it hard for customers to quickly identify what they're buying. When looking straight at this picture, I wouldn't immediately assume ice cream unless I was like obviously in the cold aisle. So there is my explanation for all of the focus. I hope you enjoyed and got a better understanding of what the focus principles are. Thank you.